The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Hello, dear souls. Thank you for joining me on our channel with Archangel Raphael. It is a joyful day. I have two graduates in the family, graduating from high school and graduating from college, and that has been a joy for me to see this past week. So time marches on no matter what's going on in the world, and yet today I'm going to read chapter 10 from Raphael's book, Ask Raphael. I do hope that you will, I'm doing it out here, that you will order the book from Amazon, amazon.com. You go to books, and then you go to Ask Raphael and Betty Ray, R-A-E. Raphael answers so many questions that it is just a joy to read this book. So today's question was, how can I be happy when ... The world is in such a mess, right? Or when my loved one just died, and I just talked to my friend Johnny, and she lost her father just recently. And or when I'm in pain, and we've all experienced some kind of physical pain, so we understand how that works. Or 100 other reasons why you won't be happy. But here's what Raphael says. We say unto you, raise your consciousness. You can never be completely happy, he goes on to say, if you always find something or someone who disrupts your view of happiness. When you say, quote, how can I be happy when, unquote, or what when? When someone is in your way, when people always challenge your happiness, or when people disappoint you, or confront you, argue with you, or betray you. Your purpose while in the world, this is Raphael, is to discover God through people. As you come to know, love, and serve humanity, you will find the indwelling of divinity within yourself. To do this, you must raise your consciousness out of fear and doubt, anxiety and anger, into the light of truth, to trust in your own dear self and God. We speak of raising your emotional energy tank, he calls it, out of the emptiness of negative emotions and into positive, mindful energy vibrations. Spiritual consciousness reflects your soul's level of awareness of God's laws. Obviously, beginner souls have little knowledge of any laws. They can only learn of them when they break a law and experience the uncomfortable response. If they knowingly break a law and do not receive consequences, they will continue to break laws. Only from moment to moment conscious awareness to connect the act with the experience of an uncomfortable result can the soul learn how to navigate within a physical world filled with laws. Now, here you are, dear reader, on your planet where you cannot escape the lower levels of emotions. Even after having had many lifetimes of consciousness training, you may still have anxieties and doubts and fears that crop up to muddy your perception of life on Earth. These are your challenges to living a happy life. By simply recognizing your fears with the determination to eliminate them, you will raise your consciousness into peace and joy. Imagine you could take a consciousness shower. When you wash out the grit of fear and doubt from your mind and emotions, you will automatically raise your spirit's consciousness. You will sparkle with a new awareness of eternal love. You will begin to glow. Your light will inspire others to watch their gritty concepts too. Sooner rather than later, the raising of consciousness will spill over into your personal world of family and friends, much like the story of the 100th monkey. Well, we didn't talk about the 100th monkey, but it's a long ago story about Japanese scientists who were studying monkeys on two different islands. They were deserted islands, and they took their grain or whatever it was that they fed the monkeys and would drop it off at the shore, and the monkeys would run out and grab it and take it back into the woods. And on the other island they did the same, except this one time one monkey washed the grit off the whatever it was, I don't remember now, and and then ate it. And that nobody on the other island did that. But the next time they came up, the island number one, all the monkeys were there to wash off the grit from the treat that they were given. And suddenly, island number two, all of the monkeys started washing it. There was no connection between the two islands. And yet, the consciousness of those monkeys on the one island jumped to the consciousness on the other. And that's how we're going to save the world. When you raise your consciousness, you don't have to worry about anybody else. You don't try to raise their consciousness. It's not your job. But when you do, when you let go of fear and anxiety, all of a sudden people around you begin to feel better and they seek you out. They want to be with you because you have an aura of happiness and it's contagious. So when you let go of fear and anxiety and begin to love yourself and all of the people around you and accept the world as it is, but love the world to get better and better, you have raised your consciousness and you glow. This is what Jesus meant when he said, don't put your light under a bushel basket. The bushel basket is fear and doubt and anxiety that your needs won't be met. When you say, thank you, God, every day for all the gifts of joy you have given to me, for taking care of all my needs every day in every way, I thank you. When you do that every day, you will begin to see the good that comes to you because often when you're in fear and anxiety, you can't see beyond that fear and anxiety. So every day, let go and say, thank you, God, for releasing the fear from my body, mind, and spirit and helping me to be the joy and the peace and the harmony that God sent me here to do. This is your mission. If you are listening to this show, you are a soul that is enlightened. And that means that you are seeing more light than darkness. You're in a world of contrasts. There's up and there's down, there's inside out. There's everything is opposites. And so here we are in a world of opposites that you can't escape. And it is only natural that you're going to feel anxiety at times because you pick up on other people. So when you do feel it, and I feel it in my gut, when you do feel it, that's the time to do abdominal breathing, which we talked about last week. And so going back now to the book, here's the book, Ask Raphael, and we hope that you have gotten your copy of it from Amazon. You go to amazon.com/books/Betty Ray/Ask Raphael, and you can order it. It's only $14.44, and in plus shipping, and it will be sent to you. Okay. So it's Raphael goes on to say, only from a moment to moment conscious awareness to connect the act with the experience of an uncomfortable result can the soul learn how to navigate within a physical world filled with laws. Now here you are, dear reader, on your planet where you cannot escape the lower levels of emotions. Even after having had many lifetimes of consciousness training, you may still have anxieties and doubts and fears that crop up to muddy your perception of life on Earth. These are your challenges to living a happy life. By simply recognizing your fears with the determination to eliminate them, you will raise your consciousness into peace and joy. Imagine you could take a consciousness shower. When you wash out the grit of fear and doubt from your mind, I know I'm repeating this, and emotions, you will automatically raise your spirit's consciousness. You will sparkle with a new awareness of eternal love. You will begin to glow. Your light will inspire others to wash their gritty concepts too. Sooner rather than later, the raising of consciousness will spill over onto your personal world of family and friends, much like the story of the 100th monkey. So I've reread that to help you to understand that you are growing in consciousness and awareness of joy and love and peace and harmony every day that you set your mind to do so. So, going on, Raphael says, negative people will either raise their consciousness to become brighter, happier individuals, or they will seem to fade from your life. I've experienced that recently. Sometimes friends you've had for a very long time don't want to let go of their darkness and their anger and their frustration, and they will disappear from your life. So Raphael goes on to say, and soon your light will spread throughout the world and you will see people awakening all over the globe. When you demonstrate humor, peace, harmony, integrity, and joy within yourself, you help everyone around you raise their consciousness to do the same. God designed you to bring its divine light into your world. When you do, you bring joy into the lives of all the people around you by simply glowing. Let the light shine with your sense of humor. This is Betty Ray talking now. Let the light shine through your eyes as you smile at people, even if you're wearing a mask. When you smile, it shows. So here's what Raphael says. When you raise your consciousness, many good things happen, and he's listing them. Your perception becomes wider, so you can begin to see the bigger picture. Your intuition sharpens as you become aware of your soul sending new ideas for solving everyday problems. Like wearing the earphones, so I don't have to worry about you not hearing me while I read this book. Inner visions supply you with ideas where your welfare is concerned, what your body needs to be healthy, for example. You develop a sense of knowing how to live a happier, more joy-filled life. You will increase your awareness of the subtle energies around you and others. You will stay balanced during stressful times. You will have an increased awareness of your soul's purpose for your life. You will have a driving need to increase beauty and goodness in your life by beautifying your mind and your surroundings. You'll experience a great thirst for knowledge and be led to find answers for long-held questions. A higher sense of integrity will grow within you. It will not allow you to be dishonest with anyone in any way, especially with yourself. That's a big one. You will increase your sense of compassion and tolerance toward others, making it easier to accept them exactly as they are without trying to change them, thus making detachment easier and confrontations less frequent. You will have an increased confidence in decision making that will lead to better choices with results that are more of your choosing. Creative ideas will pop along with a strong willpower to follow through with them. Relationships will either strengthen or dissolve and go away. Your energy will increase, giving you time to do more things of your choosing. Scientists continue to study where consciousness resides within the human body. They conduct brain research and look everywhere. They will not find it because your consciousness resides within your invisible spirit, which is a duplicate of you. Some scientists are reluctantly coming to that conclusion. It will begin the merging of science with the non-physical worlds. In fact, it has already begun. Throughout this book, this is Raphael talking, we have been presenting a picture of you in bits and pieces like a huge jigsaw puzzle of how, as humans, you navigate within a complex, time-trapped world. We ask you to bear with us on our next conceptual ride as we describe those invisible, amazing, powerful, life-changing energy orbs of light residing right within your physical and spirit bodies. We described these orbs in light earlier in chapter 6, which we can't tell about right now. They are also the receptors of your consciousness. When they are bright and polished, you are as well. When they are depleted and dull, so too are you. With this knowledge, perhaps not new to many of you, but hopefully with a different perspective and a greater respect for your vehicle of expression, you will more easily awaken to your spirit with a sense of inner peace and joy, thus raising your consciousness into an advanced awareness from an eagle's eye view. Again, we emphasize the use of a scientific journal to record your experiments within your world. How often do you fall into negative emotions? What are the results of your experiences because of it? How did you change your mind and decide to use more positive emotions to bring forth new ideas? How did that change the results of your experiments? It is wise to carry a small notebook to record those flashes of ideas that often come when least expected, as in driving or just before you fall asleep. Be sure to jot them down, as they can easily disappear from your memory, just like dreams. We often send new problem-solving ideas just before sleep. Again, this is Raphael. I'm reading from the book. We will present ways to attain that state through meditation in later chapters. We will unlock many doors for you. So this is about how to be happy. And there's an, before, okay. Okay. So let's talk again about what Raphael just said. How to be happy. When you put expectations out there for other people or other events or other things to make you happy. Like if you hear yourself say, I can't wait until I graduate, until I have a job. I can't wait until I find my soulmate. If you are in that state of anxiety of not being able to wait because it hasn't arrived yet, or because there's nothing you can do to make it arrive sooner, then you are living in the negative aspect of your existence, and that is not comfortable. When you can live each moment in the now, which is really kind of hard to do, but when you can realize you're not in the now because you're thinking about somebody in the past that did you wrong, or you think about that ice cream cone you're going to get in a few minutes. When you live in the now of the past or in the future, you cannot be happy. You can only be happy when you are in the moment, in your own skin, accepting that skin, that body for what it is. And I tell you, dear friends, if I can live to be 86, nearly 87, and be a joyfully happy person, then so can you. Our time on the planet is not for us to know. And so some have a short life, and that was part of the divine plan that was set up with God and the angels before you were born. You do have a story to tell. Your soul is here to express who you are. Nobody else can be you perfectly as you are. So don't try to emulate anybody else in your life. Don't try to be anyone or anything you admire. Instead, go within and look at the joy that has been given to you in your physical body, in your mind, in your intelligence, and in your compassion and caring for other people. If you have compassion and empathy, not sympathy, empathy for others, you are well on your way to being the raised consciousness human being that you came here to be. And when you are filled with joy rather than hate or anger or frustration, when you are filled with the acceptance of your life as being perfect the way it is, and you eliminate any words that say, I hate it when, get rid of the hate. Get rid of that out of your vocabulary. And every day give thanks for what you have and those who love you around you. And rejoice. Every day choose to be happy because it's only you that can do that. Only you can be happy. And so, dear friends, we say again to you, Raphael's book, right there, be sure to get it, Amazon.com, and look at chapter 16. Here's another way. I don't know if you can see it. Nope, doesn't show up well enough. Chapter 16 is How Do I Create a Happy Home? Let's look at that for a minute. Raphael says, create order and cleanliness within your dwelling place, and your mind and spirit will rejoice. Again, we refer to negative energy as the basic cause of all dysfunctional beings. When you become more aware of the energy flow within you and within your living space, you will begin to feel better as you take steps to move more often within the flow of positive, happy energy. This applies even to non-physical things, such as your living space. We suggest you study the ancient wisdom of Feng Shui, Fengshui, which is the Chinese understanding of energy that they call qi, as it flows throughout one's home. While the study can become quite complex, the simple version is to allow pure love energy to flow unheeded around and through all objects within your home. The arrangement of furniture can also enhance and direct the flow of energy by having it arranged in an oval or circle rather than squared. Interesting, huh? The idea is that corners can trap negative energy. He suggested that since mirrors reflect light, they can also bring more positive energy into the home. Wind chimes create uplifting energy through sound. And I'm going to pause here to say I just bought another wind chime. My labyrinth in the backyard has wind chimes all around it. And I have one right outside the big window here in my office. And it sings to me quite often. It's very delightful. So I do recommend it. In fact, Ace Hardware had a 20% off on their wind chimes. I don't know if it's still going on in your area, but I bought 2 or 3 of them during that 20% off time. They have some beautiful ones there. Just an aside. So Raphael goes on to say, it is suggested that since mirrors reflect light, they can also bring more positive energy into the home. And he goes on, this is what I've read already. Wind chimes create uplifting energy through sound. Fresh flowers, or those made of natural products such as silk, are preferred over artificial. The arrangements of small objects such as knickknacks can enhance when used sparingly. When they become a dominating factor and create clutter, they hold the energy and prevent movement. Now, I put in here a part. I said, I read about a man who had a fast-growing cancer. His angels encouraged him to call in the feng shui doctor to come to his home and see if anything in it was toxic. Upon entering the home, the energy doctor saw immediately what the problem was. Everything was green. Green walls, green carpeting, and mostly green furniture. Now, Raphael goes on to say, green signifies growth. This man had unwanted growths in his body. To solve the problem, he was moved out of his house, where the walls were painted a soft yellow, the furniture was covered in white, and the entire space was rearranged to flow in circles rather than squares. Mirrors were hung to reflect the good energy. The energy doctor put up wind chimes, brought in flowering plants, set up a small waterfall, placed clear quartz crystals as ornaments in open spaces, uncluttered the clutter, including too many knickknacks, and cleaned up the energy through various other techniques, thus creating good chi. When the good chi now circulating with this man's home, he was slowly healed of cancer. Most people do not understand subtle energy and how impactful it is upon your health. So I'm going on to I'm talking now in the book. And you can tell the difference because my words are in italics. So I said, Raphael encouraged me to study energy that led to the healing method called emotional freedom technique and body talk. I think I've talked about this on the radio before. I learned how to use kinesiology, which is the testing of the deltoid muscle to allow the body to respond to a simple yes or no answers. Energy studies found the body did not lie when asked if a certain object was good for it. For example, if you held a cigarette in one hand and someone tested the strength of your arm by slightly pushing down on it when held outright, the arm would drop. You had no control, it would just go weak. But if you held an apple, the outstretched arm would hold fast as a truth told through the strength or weakness of the deltoid muscle. It worked well, and I became good at helping people. Although I became a certified practitioner, I gave it up after realizing how people fall right back into the same emotional energy patterns that caused their illness to begin with. So, illness is often created by emotional negativity. When you are negative, you are draining positive energy from your body that keeps you healthy. When you can laugh at yourself and any mistakes you make, when you can embrace the negativity of other people without judging them or trying to change them, when you are filled with doubt yourself, you can ask for divine guidance and then get peaceful within by deep breathing, by meditating on a peaceful, beautiful place in nature, by putting yourself there and relaxing your body entirely. You may go to sleep, which is good. But if you don't, and you can visualize this inner space that is your inner kingdom of heaven, you will be amazed at how your body will respond and begin to heal itself because your emotions are a tremendous, oh, what should I say, energy of creation. And if your emotions are full of hatred and negativity and feeling as though you are being abused when you're really not, you have to check that out because if you are in an abusive relationship, it is up to you to have the courage to go, to leave it. There is no reason for you to accept an abusive relationship. Oh, you may say, I have to stay with him because I don't have a job. Well, you can get a job even in this terrible state that we're in. If you set your mind to it and you ask your angels for guidance, you will be inspired as to how to get a job and get on your own financially and emotionally. When you can be independent financially and emotionally, you will soar with joy and laughter and humor, and you don't need to have a mate. You don't need anyone else to fulfill your own happiness. That is your job, and no one else can do it for you. So don't go looking for somebody to make you happy. It'll only end up in grief because they will be looking for someone to make them happy, and you'll end up making each other unhappy. Oh, dear friends, we encourage you to become consciously aware of how and why you are angry, how and why you are feeling out of place, how you are feeling unappreciated. What is it you need to make yourself be happy? And you might go also to Amazon and look for my 30 Days to Happiness. Oh, excuse me. It's not on Amazon. You have to email me at angelbettyray@gmail.com, and I will send you this little booklet of 30 Days to Happiness. Each day, you concentrate on one positive action, and you work with that until it becomes a part of you for that day. Then on the next day, you work on another one. It's 30 days to happiness, and you will find that you will get rid of a lot of the heavy burden of negative thinking and negative emotions. And so I encourage you to email us for the little booklet. It's only $5 plus shipping, which is, I don't know how much. But so if you contribute $10, you can get this little booklet, and it will give you a practicing workbook of how to be happy. So we have some copies of it left, so don't hesitate to email us for a copy and give us your address and send us a check for, what did we say? Whatever. And so that we can afford to send it to you. We have to make up the booklet, and that costs money at Office Max. And then we have to have the postage. So give us a donation of that amount of money, and we will see to it that you get a copy of 30 Days to Happiness. It really is awakening. And it really is a way of changing the emotional energy around you and changing it in your home and around the people you live with. If you're a grumpy old man or a grouchy old woman, you're not going to have happy people around you because they don't like your energy and they are going to want to stay away from you. But if you are a happy and a kind and generous person, you will find you have lots of friends who love to be around you. So don't blame it others when they get after you and say they don't really want to be around you. You're too grumpy. And take that as a hint that you need to change your ways and find ways to raise your consciousness, to feng shui your house and get rid of the negative energy, and to feng shui yourself so that you can smile and that smile is real and you are happy. So, dear ones, we've read to you this positive ideas. And here are some other things. He says how to create your home, how to cleanse your home of negative energy. One simple way to change the energy within your home is to bless a small portion of sea salt by saying a prayer over it, such as, quote, I ask God to bless this sea salt, to cleanse the energy of this home, to remove any negative thoughts trapped here, to raise my consciousness out of fear, doubt, anxiety, and any belief in lack, so that my home may radiate love, peace, and harmony. Then go into each room and sprinkle a few grains of that blessed sea salt in each corner while saying the above prayer. Remember, it is your intent that creates the reality. Remember that also that you are a co-creator with God, and as you command, so shall it be. Raphael has said this time and again. You are creating your own life because you've been blessed with free will. And as you say, so shall it be. If you have people in your life that are not making you comfortable anymore, then shut them out. Even though they might have been really good people, but they no longer serve your happiness, then change it. So, Raphael goes on to say, of course, the first step to cleanse your home would be to clean it and remove the clutter. If you have young people in the home, it would be wise to set them down and explain the purpose of this ceremony to bring joy and peace and harmony to the home. We remind you also that if there is unrest and friction between people within the home, it is like shedding a dandruff of negative energy, leaving its discord everywhere. And yet we say unto you, this simple ceremony of using a physical symbol of peace to cleanse the home can be helpful. You might call upon us to stand guard within each room to protect the space from negative energy deposits. Raphael goes on to say, do not equate negative energy with negative entities. Let's say that again. Do not equate negative energy with negative entities. Yes, there are negative spirits, he goes on to say, who may try to influence your living space and you. Spirits can and do haunt space, but this is not usually the case. It is more often the residue of a leftover argument that becomes your boogeyman. Call upon us to cleanse the area quickly and efficiently. The Native Americans used sage to cleanse their homes, and because of their constant awareness of their spirituality, most lived happy lives. And yet, we remind you that in all races, the human condition brings souls of varying experiences and stages of advancement. A baby soul can create havoc anywhere. In using sage as an energy cleanser, be cautious with fire. The purpose is to light the sage and allow only the smoke to become the cleanser. Douse it with water when you are finished, or make sure that it's out. We say unto you, it is the symbolism of the act rather than the act. It is your intent that transfers the movement of energy from negative to positive. I haven't turned on yet. So nobody has come in. Oh, it'd be so nice to hear from people again. Especially in your place of meditation, use a pinch of salt as you bless your space and strong intent to cleanse it of any negative energy. Always call upon us to help in this endeavor. Now, Raphael goes on to say, use blessed crystals to enhance your space. The use of crystals can be most beneficial in bringing in strong positive energy. We suggest obtaining 3 basic crystals: clear quartz, like this. This is a clear quartz crystal. Let's put it over here. Can you see it over here better? Whoops, there it is. Clear quartz crystal. Okay. And I don't know if I have any around here. Oh, yeah, I do. Hold on. I have lots of amethysts, and that's what this is. This is amethyst crystal. It's really quite beautiful. Can you see it? Amethyst crystal does help to raise your awareness of spirit energy. And rose quartz. Let me find. Yes. This is a candle holder that is rose quartz. You can see how you can put a candle in there, or you can put a light in it. It has a hole over here that you can put a light bulb in there, and then it will glow out. But this is made of rose quartz, and this is a wonderful crystal for bringing love energy into the home and into relationships. So those are the 3 basic crystals. We've done this before, as some of you will remember. But if you get those 3, keep them around the house, and you can get more than one. You don't have to just have one. I love the amethyst, so I have it just about everywhere. So, and it says how to cleanse your crystals. Okay. Periodically cleanse any crystals because they do attract and hold negative energy. Place them overnight in a glass bowl, not crystal, but do not put selenite. Selenite is a different kind of a crystal, and you don't want to put water in it. And cover them with water mixed with sea salt. These are the other kinds. You may also place them outside in the sun and through the night. Blessing them under the full moon can fully charge them as well. So when there is disharmony in the workplace, we have often suggested a seeker bring a clear quartz crystal and place it on a high shelf with the points facing outward. It can absorb any negative energy and bring peace to your space. We suggest you do not allow others to handle the crystal, as it will then absorb the person's energy and defeat your purpose. Now, the power of prayer with intent, Raphael goes on to say. Remember always to pray with the purpose of setting your intent for the day and for a moment when there is disharmony. Remember to breathe deeply with the abdomen without raising your shoulders so that you can cleanse your body of any negative energy surrounding you. We emphasize, dear one, says Raphael, that you are a powerful energy being. You swim in a sea of energy that is positive, negative, and neutral. Become aware of which is which and choose to transmute any uncomfortable energy into loving, healing energy for yourself and for all those who enter your earth stage. So, dear ones, I know we still have some time left. So let's just go back and review what this chapter was about. Um, how do I create a happy home? And before that, we talked about how to be happy. And so it means unlocking your imagination, because until you can have a vivid imagination, you won't be able to receive pictures in your mind. And that's how often I create so many things. People wonder how I do the rugs. Like I just finished a 11-foot by 7-foot rug, and it's made of old wool clothing cut into strips and made into little tiny loops. So my rugs you will find on my webpage, and they are, I'm still amazed because the first rug, the symbols rug, was given to me in a vision, and I was shown how to do this kind of rug hooking when nobody had ever heard of it before in any of the craft stores I went to. So this was a gift that was given to me, and I became a hooker, which tickled my husband, and he liked to tell his friends that he married a hooker. But anyway, if this is something that was given to me to do, and I've done it, I've made 4 big rugs and then decided to hang up my hooking apparatus and to just be now someone who is filled with light and wanting to share that light with all of you. So don't hesitate to look at my webpage, which is Angel Betty Ray and AndRaphael.com. That's my webpage, and you'll see some of these wonderful inspirations that have been given to me. Now, there's a story of an angel that I was shown, and I guess spirit wanted me to hook it, but I was in the midst of taking a class and I had a rug I had to finish. And so I had to tell the angel to go away. I've told this story before. But anyway, she did. She went away. And as soon as I put the last stitch in this rug that I was doing for a class, there she was, back in my vision again. And in my dreams, I kept seeing her. She was really pushing me to hook her. So so the angel, I probably should bring it and show it next time. But she is 2 pieces of cloth side by side, and we put them together and they become a stand-up angel. And this angel was so pretty that when the Rug Hooking magazine asked for the use of unusual materials, because I had used, and I didn't even know what it was, I had to go to a yarn store and feel that fuzzy material that was, I can't even think of it right now, mohair. There we go. It was made of mohair. Excuse me. And so I hooked this piece that was shown to me, and I had a picture taken of it, just made the deadline for the Rug Hooking magazine. And sure enough, it was selected as one of the few that were taken from all around the world. So this angel was in the magazine under the use of unusual materials, because I used the mohair for her hair. It was brown. And for her wings were all made of mohair, white mohair. It's really quite pretty. So go to my webpage if you want to see a picture of her. So you get ideas to do things you've never ever done before. And that's where you need to listen and pay attention. Sometimes it's not given to you in words, it's given to you in pictures. And that's why it's important to keep journaling every day. When you journal, you can pay attention to what it is that moves you to be happy or to be unhappy. And when you see it in print, you begin to do something about it. Sometimes we repeat the same mistakes over and over again because we aren't aware that we're making the mistake. Now, what is a mistake? A mistake in thinking a negative thought. A mistake in thinking, oh, I can't do that. Those are mistakes that we make. And when we keep a journal, we become aware of our self doubt and self deprecation. That means putting yourself down. Oh, I'm not good enough to do that. I'm not as talented as she is. You don't know how talented you are until you try something new, as I did with the rug hooking. So here we go. It's, if it isn't one thing, it's another. I've been doing mosaics lately, and I have some beautiful mosaic angels that are made out of stained glass. Now I'm working on three more angels that will be let's see, I've done Raphael and Gabriel. I'll be doing Michael, Uriel, and Emmanuel. So they will be red energy, yellow energy, and purple energy. And I found a beautiful sword in a used resale shop, and I thought that's Michael's sword. But then I thought I can't put that outside; it'll rust. So here I am trying to find a place in my house to create another angel, just so I can hang the sword with the Michael, Archangel Michael. So I'll be doing Michael, I'll be doing Uriel, which is a yellow archangel, and he is inspired by mentality. He is for the people that are scientists and uh, people that work in any kind of mental capacity. Mathematicians, librarians, people that are working with the mind, and that is Uriel. He's a yellow energy. It's a beautiful sunset kind of energy, and so I want to do a piece of wood that will be just a plain, simple design because I also have some angel wings. And so we're running out of time. I can see that. I'm going to come back over here. Okay. So here I am making three more archangels to hang outside as well as inside because Raphael's going to have to be hung inside because of his beautiful sword that I found for him. So you never know where your creativity is going to take you. And of course, it also means that you have to have time to do it. Now, I've been retired for over 30 years. Yep, 30 years. I quit teaching 8 years before I was ready for retirement, and I've been retired ever since then. I've outlived my husband, and he's been gone for quite a long time now. But fortunately, I'm able to live on my income and I have very few needs. And it is just wonderful to be able to do creative things. Now, I hope that you can be creative without having to wait until you retire. Or if you are even on unemployment and you have time on your hands, begin thinking about whether you could be a writer or an artist. You never know until you try. And it's not very expensive to go to Michael's and pick up some watercolors or some acrylic paints. Acrylics are really quite easy to work with. And and begin to see if you do have an artistic talent. I didn't know I had a talent for being a hooker, but I have, and I've made some beautiful rugs. So I say to you, I've only got a few minutes left. Be open to how marvelous God has created you and to all of the things that you are still going to be doing. Raise your intention to be of service to all those around you, to be of service to God, and know that you are created to be God on earth. So rejoice and be glad in wherever you are and whatever you do, and know that we are just about out of time. Dear souls, come back again next week. Please subscribe. Please let me hear from you, angelbettyray@gmail.com. And if you are able to order our book, Ask Raphael again. We say to you, it's a real eye opener and it will make you rejoice. Take care, everyone. Please come back again next week. Tell your friends about it and try to come live on Tuesdays at noon, W4WN Radio, so that we can chat. Until next time, dear friends, I don't know, are we out of time, Rebel? Rebel's the engineer, the wonderful lady who takes care of all the physical stuff to make this radio show work. And so we say, thank you, Rebel, and thank you to all of you who come listening either on this radio show at noon on Tuesdays or on iHeartRadio or Pandora or any of the other ones where you can check in on Raphael and hear what he has to say. God bless each of you. We love you. Come back again. Bye for now.